So Nintendo finally dubbed their new console the Nintendo Switch. As far as the information has come out from the trailer and some of the other news outlets out there, it is a portable slash home console mix. This is to be expected ever since the rumors of the Nintendo NX and some of the leaked images. I use air quotes on that. It was always suspected to be some type of portable system. Now that's been confirmed, and I think I like the technology behind it more so than the actual console itself. Hopefully it works out the way Nintendo wants it to, because if it does, they can really have something on their hands here. But to give a little information about the Nintendo Switch, if you haven't seen the trailer, I'll have it linked down below. I'm not playing the trailer simply because I don't want to deal with Nintendo's, copyright ID stuff on, their videos and all that. So anyway, so watch the trailer and then come back here or watch it as I'm talking. It first opens up with someone playing the new Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and he takes his dog out for a walk or whatever, and he takes out something called the Switch, and this is going to be one of the main components of the Nintendo Switch. He takes it out and then hooks up two of these small little controllers to each side of it, and then he takes it outside, and he's actually playing Breath of the Wild on the Switch screen itself. And this is made possible, one, because it has, I believe, the same technology as the Wii U gamepad, except probably a little bit more powerful, and that the games are actually going to be on SD cards now. This is very similar to how the games are on the 3DS. I'd imagine they're probably going to be a little bit bigger, and a little bit more bigger in terms of like the size and of course the file size. Regardless, he's playing it outside, and you can actually see it looks really, really well done. I hope that's just not stock footage and it's actually someone playing the game. I'd imagine it's probably stock footage, but it's just to confirm that this will be a portable and a home console. Another thing they showed off is that there's a shit ton of ways to play this thing. Each one of the little controllers that show up to the side of the Switch is actually a controller in themselves, and you can do split screen games on that. There's someone playing Mario Kart 8, two friends actually playing on the Switch screen that's hooked up to the side of the car, the side of the passenger seat of the car, and they're playing split screen on it, and they're each using one of the controllers. There's someone else using the typical Nintendo Switch Pro controller, which is probably the one I'm going to be using. And then, of course, you have the actual Switch with the controllers to the side. And then you have, I think it's one more controller that you use in the home console other than the Pro controller. I didn't really get to see it that well. But there's a lot of ways to play this thing. I think it's pretty cool, but at the same time, that's a lot of pieces to, break and replace. I think that's probably how they're going to get some of their money. It's like you're going to probably need all of these parts to actually do it. And another one's called the grip, which you hook up the sides of each side of the I think it's called the Joy-Can or the Joy-Coin or whatever. You get up to the grip and then it becomes one controller. Sorry about that, just saw the image as I'm talking here. But anyway, get back on track. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to play this thing. It's actually pretty interesting, but again, that's a lot of pieces to misplace and lose and all that. And it's going to be really expensive to kind of replace those parts. I imagine they're going to be about like $30-40 a pop. But moving on to the games, and this is kind of a confirmed list of games that are coming out based on the trailer and some other information. First off, as we already knew, the new Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is coming out. I believe that's going to be a launch title. It better be a launch title. Skyrim. This actually surprised me when I saw it in the trailer. Nintendo's finally getting Skyrim. Every other console has it, so it only makes sense that they finally get it. I'd imagine it's going to be the special edition with the enhanced graphics and the new features that are coming to it. I wonder how they're going to handle mods, because they could either go the Xbox route, which is the way I would go, and they would just allow mods to be on it as long as you can download them and fit them on there, or they're going to play it safe and go the PlayStation 4 and Sony route, which you can only use mods that use in-game assets and no third-party assets, which, knowing Nintendo and how family friendly they are, they're probably going to go for the latter and follow in the footsteps of Sony and PlayStation. I hope they put mods on it in general. They could not allow mods at all, and that would be a real shame. There would be no point of getting Skyrim on the NX if you couldn't do what the other consoles do. Mario Kart 8, it was in the trailer. It's probably going to be a port. Basketball game, probably NBA 2K17. Don't really care much about sports. A new Super Mario, which is supposed to be in the style of Super Mario 64. I'm personally excited for that. I do like my my 3D Mario games. I think I like them a little bit more than the 2D traditional Mario games, so I'll probably be picking that up later on down the line. Splatoon has been confirmed. It's probably going to be a port as well, though I'm not very sure. I didn't really play Splatoon. I didn't like it that much, so can't really say anything about that. Moving on from there, they showed off a list of partners, and there's a couple interesting names on here. We have Capcom, Bethesda, Bandai Namco, Atlas, EA, Platinum Games, of course, Sega, the Devil Incarnate themselves, Konami, so on and so forth, and also Square Enix. So we might see a lot more AAA third-party games, which is something that Nintendo needs to have. And I think that's really what kind of killed the Wii U, is a lack of third-party support from other companies to kind of like fill in the gaps between Nintendo's AAA titles. Regardless, a lot of good names on here. Of course, we still have Konami, and always fuck Konami. But regardless, I think with this list, if they stay on board, I think the Nintendo Switch will actually be a really, really decent console. I'm hoping it's a lot better than the Wii U. I haven't touched that thing in almost a year. But my main concerns about the Nintendo Switch, for at least the portable version of it, I'm imagining going to be run off a battery, and I want that battery life to be really, really good. I'm talking, anywhere between 6 to 8 hours of solid gameplay without having to worry about, setting up the docking station and having to charge it. But I don't know. There's not a lot of information about the tech, other than I think the SD cards, or not the SD cards, but some of the internal hardware is supposed to be the equivalent of some of the later versions of NVIDIA graphics cards, which is pretty interesting. But there's no more information about that. I'll leave all the information that I found in the description down below so you can read up on it. Maybe you can read up something that I missed. But what are your thoughts on the console itself? Are you going to pre-order it? Are you going to pick it up day one? Are you going to wait? Or are you just going to skip over it entirely? My recommendation is, like with any other console, I would wait after the first wave of them come out. After you see some big review sites or some bigger YouTubers kind of play around with it, or if you can get your hands on it before you buy it, before you go out and spend the money on it, because I'd imagine this thing costing about $450, probably a little bit more than that, but who knows. I'm definitely not going to be pre-ordering it, and I probably won't pick it up day one. But nonetheless, I'm kind of excited for just a little bit, at least the tech behind it, because it does intrigue me that they're going this whole portable gaming route when they have a really, really strong portable gaming system in general with the 3DS. But regardless, what do you guys think? I'll catch you guys in the next video.